I hate this game. Kingdom Hearts 3 was one of the biggest messes in gaming history. I've played a lot of games, and never have I played any game that has left me feeling unsatisfied like this one.
But I never thought I'd find you here.
Speaking of, where exactly is here?
I've been here. I know too well what that rush is like.
Well, gee.
But Ninja Bread, you're such a hater, man. Listen, man. I've played every single game except for the mobile games and 2.8. I was a fan before you were even born. Birth by Sleep? I played that. Chain of Memories? I played that. Dream Drop Distance? Bro, I bought a whole 3DS just to play that game. Recoded? Was that game necessary?
I'll keep the hurt with me for the time being. I do know hurt.
No. Did I play it? Yes. That being said, I do think that I have a healthy perspective on the Kingdom Hearts series. And it's not like I just played these games in one sitting. I played Kingdom Hearts since I was 8 years old. So when my friend sent me a link to the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal trailer, I wasn't all that excited. Yes, the trailer was pretty cool, and I did kind of screech a little bit because of the gameplay, because there's a part of me that still likes Kingdom Hearts. I was also on the bathroom toilet when I was watching the trailer. But because of my experience with Kingdom Hearts 3, I choose not to keep my expectations that high. And I can appreciate the YouTubers that still try to keep up the Kingdom Hearts hype and dive into a deep analysis with every piece of Kingdom Hearts information that they find on the media. I just can't do that myself. Remember the black box? Yeah, this one. I don't. That's how much Kingdom Hearts fails to convince me as to why it's important. So what are my initial impressions of the trailer? I'm hopeful. Yes, I'm not on the edge of my seat waiting for this game to happen as if it needs to. But I am curious as to what's going on in Nomura's colorful eclectic brain. And while the game's not out yet, I do have a few nitpicks. First of all, why does Sora look like that? There isn't exactly anything wrong with how he looks. It's just that Sora himself is a standalone character outside of Final Fantasy, inside a game with Final Fantasy elements. He just looks like a Final Fantasy character. Even the clothes aren't as beefy or as baggy as they used to be. And what happened to his clown shoes? I've seen people comment on how Sora's look is based on the world that he's currently in. And while I do see that side, I do think that Nomura is trying to project what he had in mind for Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Commander! Impressive, is it not? I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Judging from that scene from Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the case. However, I'm not necessarily in disagreement with the realism that is displayed in the world that Sora is in. And I do think that the mechanics that they're bringing back from Kingdom Hearts 3 is pretty cool. So it seems like that they're going to explore that area more, and I just hope that they can make it more balanced than the way they did in Kingdom Hearts 3. Overall, I do think that Nomura is going to have more creative direction moving forward with this game. And so the only thing that I can think of is that he's going to fine-tune this game in a way where it goes in his favor, rather than being controlled by outside factors that might influence the direction of the game itself. And while I do sound hopeful, it doesn't mean that I'm that excited like I was for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 had a chance to provide closure for all the events that took place throughout the series, and even though it did give that closure, it did it in the most inorganic way possible. You see, people aren't just playing Kingdom Hearts for the gameplay. Longtime fans have followed the game to see where the lore would go and how it would all wrap up. And so when you build up a story so much like the one in Kingdom Hearts, you're going to have people who desire to see all that end in a meaningful way. Kingdom Hearts 3 failed to live up to that expectation, and so going into Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm really not all that excited about it. Will I still play it? Yeah, of course. But do I care about it right now? Not really. And I think this guy puts it in better terms for me.
So I'm definitely interested in this game. Like, I'll be following it for sure. I'll almost assuredly pick it up, let's be honest. But I can't say I'm super excited for this. Definitely not like I was for 3. I'm in the camp of feeling like 3 was a letdown, and I know it was one of those games that was hyped up so much for so long that, like, it was never going to meet expectations, but I don't know, it just doesn't hit like the previous games did in my opinion. I feel like we're coming off of the weakest game in terms of the mainline ones.
I'm not going to downplay anyone who's excited for Kingdom Hearts 4, but if you really thought that Kingdom Hearts 3 was a good game, well then, you suck.